I'd like to tell you a story. When I was young, I think it started at about 10, I had a recurring dream. It begins, if I remember correctly, in a tunnel. I know I'm not supposed to be in the tunnel. I remember I was told never to go in there. I think I had to break in, something someone too young to realise the consequences would do. I was the kind of child who didn't break the rules. I knew from every source that the only way to live was to listen and to behave. And yet, I'm here. And it was my choice, and I have no idea why. I can feel the clammy walls, I can taste the musty, fetid air, and I can feel the crunch of stones and grit under my feet. And then there's something else. I trip and stumble on something hard, something unmoving and heavy. I can feel it with my hands even though I don't stoop down to reach it. It's oily, it's cold, metallic in places, and then damp and ridged in others. Wooden. And that's when I see the light. It's so bright, so unnecessary. I feel like it's enveloping me, wrapping me in a blinding, sterile air. It's everywhere and I don't like it. It scares me. So it makes me wonder why I decide to stay and stare, and why I suddenly know exactly what's happening in the light and what it will lead to. The engine starts. It's a low, threatening rumbling, warming up for what's to come. It's a physical entity as wide as the tunnel. There's no stepping out of the way, and my legs refuse to move. There's nothing I can do, nothing anything wants me to do. And then something moves. Something or someone, but of course I can't speak. What I can do is feel my jaw moving and my tongue flapping, but there's nothing. I can't reach them, whoever they are, and they move on. And somehow I know they're moving back into the tunnel, towards the source of the light. And now I'm terrified, because I know exactly what's going to happen next. And then I get to wake up. But I don't wake up screaming or in a cold sweat. I open my eyes and it's morning, and it's time to get up for school. I get to start the morning filled with anxiety the first few hundred times, but as time goes on, I get used to it. I know exactly how it's all going to play out every time, and no matter how hard I try, I won't leave the tunnel. I can't talk to the man in the light, I can't avoid the train or truck or whatever it was. I never actually find out. A man I trust tells me that it's a classic dream, and the fact that it recurs is nothing unusual. I'm filled with anxieties, more so than a child at my age should be, but that it's not a problem, and that it'll pass soon enough.
15 years later, the dreams are gone, but the anxiety still remains. A few nights ago I had a sudden urge to look up the meaning of the dream. I thought that unfettered access to the world's largest globally spanning bank of information would actually be able to shed some light on the subject. But to my surprise, I didn't actually find anything. And my apathy towards the dream now kind of doesn't give me a drive to try anything else or look anywhere else. So what does it all mean? Does everyone have such recurring dreams? Am I the only one that's ever had that dream? I mean, there are a lot of classic tropes in there, if you will, of dreams. You know, there's being unable to move, being unable to speak, a bright light, an unknown figure, fear, surprise, anxiety, extreme emotions. But I ever wondered if anyone had that exact dream, or if it was just my brain deciding to replay those events over and over again, desperately trying to tell me something, or whether it simply was just an audiovisual manifestation of the anxiety that would come to be with me for the rest of my life. Never think that dreams aren't important. I mean, in reality, they're just a memory dump, your brain trying to come to terms with stuff that's happened in the day, the week, the month, sometimes the entire year. They can be affected by any kind of stimuli, you know, the body temperature, body position, illness, what medication you've taken, when you decide to sleep, the ambient light in the room. Everything affects the natural process of rapid eye movement sleep, or REM sleep. But the images that you see and the sensations that you feel are always open to interpretation. There's limitless potential in dreams to shape you physically, creatively, and mentally. They're everything that makes you you, and if you're lucky, they'll stay with you for the rest of your life. Never ever let go of your dreams. They're everything that has ever happened to you, and they're everything that will ever happen to you. It's in their very nature to be the best things, and simultaneously the worst things that you could ever possibly experience. Sweet dreams.